Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to my rookie walkthrough video for the Maple Bay 9-hole cup. In this video, I'll walk you through the shots that I'll use and some of the possible alternatives. Be aware, you will need to play these courses, these shots, according to your clubs, your balls, and your skill level. Some of the video footage you see is from my earliest days of streaming, so you'll see some older accounts and, some different kind of shots. So if you're excited for this tournament like I am, let's get into it. Welcome to hole number 1 here on the Maple Bay course. The first hole is a par 4, and I'm playing here with an extra mile and a quasar. You can bring a little bit higher power ball, but it's really not necessary. So what we're doing here, I'm giving it 4 bars of topspin, not quite max, and this tailwind shows you just how far you will get down over that bunker, even with a lower level extra mile here. So we give it that 4 top, about 2.5 bars of the current right spin, and I'm giving it a tiny bit of baby overpower and a little bit of that right curl, just so the right edge of the ball is touching the outside of this adjustment ring. So you'll see we get a nice little bounce here up in front of that long bunker and rolling it up down near the end here of the first major fairway, just before the rough and water. And you see you have a drive distance of 346 yards. Second shot here, we're coming in with a thorn. Now I'm going to play this shot in minimum distance. You'll see here, we're just sort of checking there, minimum-ish distance, especially when I played the game at this point. We definitely would be estimating that. And as you can see, I've given this shot 4.5 bars of backspin. You may want to use a little bit less and set up slightly differently. However, this is absolutely an option and a way to play this shot. Just be mindful of the wind, of course, in the current tournament system. We do have to be very aware of the different wind, the direction, the velocity, all that good stuff. So all in good fun. This is one way to play the hole here in Rookie. Good luck to you. Welcome to hole number 2. This is our first par 5, and we're going to play the drive with an extra mile here and a Titan ball. Now, you definitely could choose a different driver. You can see where that ball guide is heading right down the middle of the fairway. I'm doing it with 1 top and 1 left at 10% max. However, you could use something like a Thor's hammer or a rock, something with some accuracy here, because you do not want to hit into the rough on this drive, because it will greatly hamper your ability to make the second shot up over and give yourselves a nice chance for an albatross here if the wind conditions favor that play. So here's the ultimate drive right down near the end of this little peninsula, if you will, 340 yards. Now, second shot here, we're going to be coming in with a sniper, and I do adjust here at 10% max. The setup then is 2 bars of top spin, and with the current spin values, about a half a bar of left spin. Now, I do have the top of my blue ring with this Sniper 6 roughly touching the top of the rough here, or at that rough edge, and you see that ball guide, the second bounce is in the rough, so you're getting a second bounce rough bump effect, and that ball guide, tip of the ball guide, is through the hole. So we make a nice clean adjustment here at 10% max. Love this shot. I wish I could make it drop every single time, but it, with this kind of nice favorable wind, it definitely makes you feel like you have a chance. So come on, good luck. Let's get those albatrosses. Hole number 3, this one I'm going to show you 2 ways to play it. The first way is on the left-hand side, setting up this shot with a backbone and a quasar ball. You see I've got I think it's only a level 8 backbone there, and we're going to give this one approximately 1.5 bars of backspin and about 1.5 bars of right spin with the new spin values. Now take note that red ring is touching the rough on the right, and look closely at the second bounce. You see how the second bounce is just before the fringe. Those are a couple of indicators that allow you to set this shot up. Now, depending on the wind, depends on whether or not you would use any curl on this shot. Now, with a left to right wind here, I'm not going to use too much right curl, but if you were playing on the left side, and let's say you have a right to left wind, then you're probably going to need to use a little bit of right curl, and boy, oh boy, you're going to have a really good chance to sink it from there. Hole number 3, the second approach, and the one that I have written on my note sheets, is going to be this shot here, the rough bump. I'm playing it with a navigator ball and a backbone. You see there, I gave 2 bars of top spin and approximately 1 bar of left spin, setting it up so the landing position is kind of in the fatter part of the rough, if you will. Now, this shot I am adjusting at 10% max, and we do come in just a little bit under adjusted. So in a strong crosswind, I would say that I likely should have played this shot at 20%, maybe 15 or 20. You know, we have to play with it a little bit depending on it. But boy, you know, this is a great way to play, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go in the tournament. Hole number 4 is a really cool par 4 here. Now, as you can see, I'm stretching it out. I'm looking for the over the water route. Now, we're going to show you that second. But first, this is a conservative way you can play here. Extra mile on a basic ball. We're giving it maximum topspin. Obviously here, the goal is to bounce it over that little sand trap. Now, just be careful this landing position. Don't get too close to the rough. It is a bit of a curved landing spot, so you want to kind of bounce it on the top of the hill or just slightly to the backside, too far down, and you could actually find yourself in the bunker there. So just be cautious. Bouncing it out into the rough and on the fairway like that is absolutely fine. 10% on that play there. Second shot, I'm going to play this one at... Well, I do play it at 10%, but I think I should have played it at 0. 3 bars of topspin here, and I'm going with a rough bump with my Goliath. You could certainly try to do a little bit more of a backspin shot here, depending on your clubs, or, you know, maybe there's even a bounce over the sand. But I think this is a very nice way to play. So, yeah, you see 3 bars of topspin, and I'm literally aiming it right at the pin here with the top of the yellow, touching the fairway. So we'll adjust it, 10% here. And, of course, this is before I ever used any kind of grid or anything like that. Up, and we're going to hit perfect, so that's always nice to see. Gives us a chance, something to work with. See, a little over-adjusted there, a little bit less. I'd say 0%. We're going to have ourselves a nice drop. All right, here we go on hole number 4 once again, but this time with the shot that you've been waiting for, and I have two. Max topspin, max overpower. That's generally the route. Because of my strong tailwind here, I'm able to get away with it with a basic ball. However, the idea is here that we can get green side or even to the green with a little bit of good timing and solid shot making. There we go. Bounce and roll. Good luck, guys. Hole number 5. This is a par 5 that I have never played in a tournament before. So I'm coming at this one basically, you know, with any kind of ball. I do believe that if you bring a Titan or more, we can get over to this second fairway on the left side anyway, much more easily. However, here with the extra mile and a quasar ball, we're giving it max top and maximum left spin. Adjusting this shot here for 10% max. And you'll see that I'm going to be adding a decent amount of left curl to the shot because, you know, we're coming into a left to right crosswind. So what this is going to do is we're going to bounce on the first fairway and just roll it up nicely as far down the second fairway as possible. I do recognize that there is also a right side route on this hole. I'm going to admit I've never taken that path before. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, but this one here, if you have a little bit higher level clubs and ball than I, you can bounce that big dog up on that last little island there with the maximum right curl and max right spin. And I do believe we can get to this green in 2 quite easily. However, this is a good example for those of you that don't have those clubs to take this shot here with a bar of backspin, because that's all we're using. I don't exactly have a high-level big dog, do we? And we're just going to play it safely up to that little fairway right there. Yep, just like that. Easy does it, leaving us a nice straight shot. Now that third shot there. Awesome. So, yeah, we'll show you this third shot just because it's not, you know, green side, so to speak. And as you can tell, I'm playing this one at maximum here with this dart. Now, it all depends on the wedge that you play. I personally play the Endbringer these days with my accounts that have a little bit better clubs. But lining it up here with the bounce on the green, a little bit of backspin, make your adjustment for wind. And, you know, this is a little bit tougher for the Eagle playing it this way than could be with higher level club and ball. But you got to do what you got to do with what you got. And I think this is still a good example of a solid Eagle. Hole number 6, par 3. This one we're setting it up a little bit funny, but we want to be able to reach this rough bump. That's why I've got a power 3 ball, and I'm using a Goliath. Now, if you have like a Goliath 5 plus, has a little bit more distance. You don't need to be quite so max distance here, Gives you a little bit more room to adjust as well. But anyway, we're going to give this one 1.5 bars of topspin, and I'm adjusting this shot for 10% maximum distance. Now, fortunately, in my example there, I do have a very low wind, so a tiny, tiny little hair of overpower is enough to compensate. But the point is, you're going to hit and roll, and I wish you the best of luck here. Hole number 7, and you definitely have a few ways that you can approach this one here. Now, some folks, many folks are going to go with like maximum overpower. They're going to try to bounce it off that long third fairway and up onto the green. However, here in Rookie, if you have an extra mile 4 or something lower and you're looking for a little more straightforward play, this one here, max top, max left, baby left curl there at 10% adjustment, and we're going to bounce it off this little fairway. Boink right there and run it down here. Nice, simple, straightforward, no risk of danger. You do want to make sure that you give yourself a chance for the eagle here, but you know, you also do not want to put it in the water or anything unnecessary like that. So second shot then, I'm coming in with the short iron. Of course, I like contemplated this backbone dunk for some second. I don't know what I was thinking, but hey, maybe I could have made it. I'm not too sure. But ultimately here, we're going to play it with the thorn, and I'm going to adjust this second shot once again at 10% maximum distance. I've got maximum backspin there and about a bar of right spin with the new spin values. And I'm just taking the spin to the pin here. Now, if you have a higher level thorn, you're going to get a much bigger ball guide. And, you know, then you're going to be able to kind of see specifically how it's going to roll down the back slope of this green. However, this is a viable route, apparently, because it's in the hole. Hole number 8. Now I'm going to show you 2 paths that you can play here. The first one being the bounce over shot, if you will. Setting this one up with a kingmaker and a backbone, giving it 3 bars of backspin, 1 bar of right spin, and we're adjusting this shot at 35% maximum distance. Now this is into a little bit of a right to left tailwind, and you can see that I've got the top of the red ring touching the rough. Now we do miss this shot ever so slightly to the left, I believe. And if that's the case, then we might want to try using a little bit of a 1201 pull angle. Also, you know, we could have given it a tiny bit more of an adjustment. So, you know, there's definitely ways to play. But this one here, yeah, just needed a little bit more adjustment. Maybe even 45% in this situation could have been the secret. Second option here, and you guessed it, we're going to play the rough bump up in front of the green. I'm giving it a half a bar of backspin with my navigator and the sniper. And even the low-level sniper 6, you see we get a nice little ball guide. Brings us right to the hole. Adjusting this shot here at min. So you have to be careful if you've got really strong tailwind, excuse me, because then it could be, you know, a little bit difficult to adjust. You could find yourself in between clubs. You may need to use a different ball depending on the wind situation here. However, looks to me like we've got a nice little setup there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get this one to drop. This was, again, back in my earlier days of playing, and I hit great left. So I do think, though, that if you see here a perfect ball, boy, oh boy, we'd have been awful close. Hole number 9, last chance for romance. This one here, the goal is albatross. Bring in a Titan ball and a quarterback, max top, max right. I'm setting this one up here at the +6 yard mark, and you can see the second bounce is just before the rough. Now, I've also got the red ring touching the rough on the right-hand side. You see then I'm adjusting it 10% max, and we're giving this one maximum right curl, but 0 overpower. That's no overpower. We get a nice little bounce. Long, strong roll right on down. Gives us a beautiful look at a second shot with a sniper. Now on this account, I'm playing with a sniper level 6, which gives us a little bit of a shortened ball guide. However, you can see that I've got the tip of the sniper 6 ball guide just onto the green. That's a good indicator for you. And I'm actually using 0.5 bars of topspin here, right at maximum for this 10% max adjustment. Now that's into a crosswind. Of course, if you're playing in a tailwind, you may not need to use any topspin at all. And if you're playing into a headwind, you might need to use a bar and a half of topspin. So just be aware. The wind conditions are everything. I wish you guys the absolute best of luck in the Maple Bay 9-hole cup. Let's get those albies, baby. Come on. Let's go. Good luck, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to my rookie walkthrough video for the Maple Bay 9-Hole Cup. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them in the comments section below. Thank you so much for subscribing to Erelic Gaming so you don't miss out on any of my future content. Good luck in the tournament.